Salutations everybody, it's Shadara. Pretty much this is going to be a follow-up video to my original Adderall extended release 1 week in video. I tried recording this 2 other times in the past, like in late 2019 and sometime in 2020, but I don't think it was just the right time. So let me just get into it as quickly as possible. Too long, didn't read, even though I didn't start nothing. I am not on Adderall anymore for my own personal reasons. It helped me. It's one of those medications for me, like if I really, really need it, then yes, I would take it. But pretty much, so after the 1 week in to Adderall, I started off on 20 milligrams, and about a month after that, well, like a little bit after I started taking it or whatever, about a month in, like, I think I had my follow-up appointment, and if, like, pretty much about a month after, it felt as if the Adderall wasn't working as well as it should have been anymore, probably because I was getting used to it or whatever. But shortly after that, it felt like it was working as it was supposed to, because I had my 1 month follow-up with my doctor on the Adderall, and everything was great, everything was fine, but of course you're a month in, so everything's going to seem all dandy, and then, like I said, a little bit after that, maybe 2 months in, I was like, like it felt like it wasn't working like it should be, or whatever, and then, like, I gave it a little bit more time, still taking it every day, 20 milligrams every day, and then it seemed to be working back as it did when I first started taking it. Now, I started working, this was in 2019, June 10th, 2019 is when I first started Adderall, and then pretty much I got a job in late August of 2019, and shortly after I started working, about a couple weeks into me working, I was working, because it was only a part-time job, but we were short-staffed, so I was working pretty much a 40-hour work week for 2 weeks straight, and that seemed to overstimulate me more than I usually did. It seemed to affect my Adderall. I don't know what it was, but I was just really irritable, and so, I had another follow-up appointment in early October, of 2019, and I told my PCM, I told my primary doctor, I was like, it just seems to not be working, I'm very irritable, I don't know what's going on, and so she bumped my dosage. Now, I feel like that was a mistake, because, future reasons, well, I'll get into a little bit later, but so, she bumped my dosage to 30, I believe, 30 or 40, I don't remember, it may have been 30, I think, yes, it was 30, because the 30 ended up fucking me up. The 30 was too much, which I later learned. And once I started taking the 30 milligrams of Adderall, yes, it did help me feel like how I felt when I first started taking it. But the 30 milligrams, after like a month or two, it was just like I lost a part of myself, because I did feel that way. But taking that 30 milligrams every day made me feel like it was like I couldn't relate to others. I couldn't be compassionate and considerate towards others. And I only later learned that probably in December 2019. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, so that's the timeline. About 6 months I took the Adderall, and them bumping my dosage pretty much, I don't know, I wasn't myself. Sorry if I keep sniffling, kind of sick, but so I wasn't myself essentially. And it's like, okay, so pretty much late December 2019, early January of 2020, I stopped taking the Adderall, and I had a follow-up appointment then, and I told my doctor I don't want to take it anymore. She's like, okay, and everything just, like, I felt really good, and it worked out really well that way. And so for the next, like, couple months up until I think July or August of 2020 is when I started taking Adderall again. And I tried, like, okay, maybe I could start off with the 30. The 30 is way too much. So I started taking some of the 20s that I had, and I realized that the 20s were too much, because, and I started taking Adderall again in July or August of 2020, just because I wanted to start school. I was trying to be more organized, and I felt like I didn't have the proper coping mechanisms without Adderall. So I was like, well, let me just try taking it again. Maybe it'll help me. So I realized, I tried a 30, it was way too much. I had a really bad, like, panic attack. It was terrible. And then, so I started taking the 20, and I could only take the 20 every other day because it was way too much. And I told my doctor that, like, hey, I want to get back on Adderall, but I know that the 30 and the 20 dosages are way too much. And she didn't believe me, as fucking usual. I always have problems with this fucking doctor, I swear to God. And so I sat there, and she's like, well, we'll start you off on the 20. I was like, are you fucking serious? That's too much, and I know it's too much. But so she started me off on the 20, and again, the 20 was too much. I know myself, and I'm like, okay. And I told her, I followed up literally a week after. I was like, listen, it's too much. I have to take the 20 milligrams every other day. So then she lowered the dosage to 10 milligrams every day, which worked for a bit. Quickly thereafter, I was maybe on it for another month. The 10 milligrams of Adderall extended release for another month. In August or September, it was October I stopped taking it. October of 2020 is when I stopped taking the 10 milligrams of Adderall extended release, because that was too much. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm tired of taking Adderall. I am tired of taking Adderall. I'm tired of this shit. So that's that. I haven't taken Adderall since. There are those times where I feel like, oh man, like, it is very addictive. It has an addictive quality, because it is like, man, like, I could take it and feel that euphoric feeling. It's funny because I haven't taken it in almost a year. And sometimes, because, you're supposed to eat when you take your Adderall for it to work properly. And there's sometimes where I eat and I get that same euphoric feeling. So, it may still run in my system. It may, it may take a bit for it to fully, like, get out. But either way, it's just, like, crazy, because there are times, like I'll eat, and it could be just a long-lasting effect or an after effect, like, it's not in my system anymore, but that's what my brain is used to. Oh, I ate, so now let's give you this feeling. And it's like, what? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what that is, but that was just something I found interesting. It is, it works for some people and it doesn't work for others, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm never going to judge anybody if they take Adderall every day, because if that's what helps you, with your ADHD and anything else, then you do it. As long as you're taking it as prescription, you're taking it as prescribed, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not going to judge you for that. And I also don't judge people who are not on it either, and they find other coping mechanisms. That's what I did. That's what I found works best for me. Everybody's different. So, but yeah, I just want to update y'all, because it's been 2 years and I'm not on Adderall anymore. And I was literally one weekend when I made that video, and I know people are like, oh, you're always off track and you do da-da-da. Like, I know you're not taking it. You haven't been taking it that long. And I'm like, the comments on that video are wild to me. Like, there are a lot of people who are supportive and telling me their story and telling me what they're going through and, what they've done with it. I appreciate y'all so much. And then there are other people that are like, well, Adderall is just meth. Like, they have a very similar chemical makeup, yes, but it's not technically meth. But I can totally see how it has some of the same addictive qualities, because that's one thing I noticed. Like, I didn't, there'd be times after I would take it where I'm like, I'm not taking this shit anymore, where I'd be like, man, that euphoric feeling would be nice again. But it's like, it's not fucking worth it to me. Personally, for me, how I am, it's not worth it. I get too overstimulated taking Adderall at this point. Like, I can't even smoke or anything. I never smoked before, but I did have an instance where I did smoke weed, and it was too stimulating for my brain. So I can't do shit like that either. Like, so, but that's a completely different story. But yeah, too long didn't read. I'm not taking Adderall anymore. It was too much of a stimulant for me, and, I don't judge anybody who takes it, because you do what you gotta do. You gotta do what's best for you. Nobody, and don't let anybody try to tell you otherwise. But yeah, that's all in all. Short little quick update video on the Adderall extended release. I guess we could say 2 weeks in, or 2 weeks. Oh my god, bitch, what? 2 years in, or I guess like 2 years, technically a year out from not taking it anymore. But either way, I just wanted to update y'all. I just want to let you know what's going on, because that video was from 2 years ago, and I tried making an update, and it obviously just wasn't the right time. But I thank y'all so much for everything. I thank y'all, you know, for rolling with me, still watching the video, still going through it. But yeah, if it works for you, let me know how y'all work y'all's Adderall. If you're comfortable enough to tell me. You don't have to tell me shit. You don't know me. You know what I mean? I'm just a random ass bitch from the internet. But just let me know, you know, if you're comfortable enough in the comments, like, oh, well, you know, when I take my Adderall, I have to do this. Or if anybody's had a similar experience where it's like, damn, this shit is just, it's too much. But yeah, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. I love y'all. Please take care of one another. Take care of yourself. And bye.